West till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west till the depth till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west till the depth till they bury me. I be one west till the depth till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of the Pharisee. Speaking heresy, get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar like a glycerin. Hit your heart, bring it out of your start, make you live again. Get a dividend, so we start getting ignorant. I be on that soul shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but you get domino. So what the fuck trying to do? Rhyme and comical, this is funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to the pussy niggas popping shit. Team my all-stars, I coach them up like Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and the apologists. They vagina, so we go check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is dominant. So when you're bombing, kiss and regurgitate for the audience. All the applaudiness of the competition is fraudulent. From the era when they smoke you up like parliament. The flow big stupid. Shit is got retarded sense. All the dominance one west rising and prominent. Cause I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, use my maneuvers, but I ride like I got group eyes for Uber. Rhyme hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 million Lucas, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper, been the proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm throwing them off Patron and premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat song, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas spit like a tire, down the deep. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because U.P.K. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the depth till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that U.P.K. banner, is my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary.
It's all about that warfare, boy. Give back up, give back up, give back. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath. My soldiers take breath till I'm stand down. Take breath. Now this ain't no movement, this a takedown. We will not be moved or intimidated. chill, she modest. I know 2 things. A robber will not prosper. And any man harm me and my aunt gon' meet the doc. Cause this life is warfare, it's not an easy walk. Been watching my people die so you can miss me with that love talk. My U.P.K soldiers, any man try to cross your path, make him regret it. What that means? Fall on his age. Comparing me to you really ain't no contest. Lonely one west. Say what? Lonely one west. This for those who thinking we ain't ready for. Tell them back up. I'm about to drop something heavy for. Go to ground. 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 It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground. Give ground. Give ground. Back up. Give ground. Give ground. Give ground. Back up. Give ground. Give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground. 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 My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down. Take ground. 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 My soldiers take ground till I'm stand down.
It's 613 commandments, nigga, and you can't do 10, my nigga. Matter of fact, you can't do 1, my nigga. Let's see if you can stop eating pork. I see that pork juice running down your fork. Talk about you blessed in the streets of New York. I see that tight Christian 3-piece suit that you bought. When you gonna rock that? When you go to court? Maybe Sunday, better get Easter. I blast at you masters, knowledge reigns supreme over all you teachers. Pedophile supporters, cool rigor mortis. Your niggas out of order. When Christ returns, you hear the screams in the chorus. Now breathe.
Revelations 6 and 17. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Tell me why would you go against the Most High? Tell me why would you? Can you tell me?
It's a wicked, disgusting society that we live in, man. And we gotta separate from the society. We gotta separate. How long does the white man have to murder and kill for you to realize he's a goddamn devil? How long does he have to murder and rape and arrest and shoot unlawfully for you to realize this white man is a goddamn beast?
All he does is rape, murder, steal.
Shalom, Yabashim Shabbat. Shalom, Yabashim Shabbat. So I said I could. I think there's something wrong with the sound. Shalom, Israel. This is the Let Hebrew Speak. General Katham and Captain Kapash is going to be joining us shortly. And we're going to go into my prayer. We're going to go into Zephaniah verse 1. And I'm going to read that. I'm going to read it. And Zephaniah. Sir, your mic is your sound is not I can't hear you, sir, at all. We're gonna get into Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Slacky. Slacky kept. I mute you because of it was having a sound difficulty. We're gonna get into Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. We need to Israel. We need to understand that we are all we have. We are all we have. The other nations don't like us. We are the only family we got, and without the Most High in Christ, we will always be under oppression of the nations, and we'll always be in captivity, and we won't know how to love one another or do right by each other. Do you have Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1?
God.
Read, Baba Kashaw.
Gather yourselves together.
Gather yourselves together. The Lord has given us an order to gather together. Now, why do we need to gather together? We need to gather together because, as I said, that's all we have, and it's an order from the Most High. So we can't be individualites. We can't be in our own homes trying to keep the Sabbath or trying to keep our holy days or trying to serve the Lord amongst ourselves and learn about by ourselves. We need to get taught by the priests and prophets. We need to come together. We need to come to these classes in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
You hear me?
Khan Wakan.
All right, Most High in Christ, we in the game. Salaki. Go ahead, keep going, warrior. Keep it rocking.
Khan Wakan. We were just going into Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1, sir.
Did the general, Salaki, did the general want us to wait on the stories until he got in?
I'm not sure, sir.
Khan. Let's find that out also. But keep going with the breakdown.
Khan Wakan. We as I was saying, we can't be individualites. We can't serve the most high how we want to serve the Most High. We got to do it in order and in righteousness. We also can't be fake. We can't break off from the original home. We can't be fake Israelite groups and do our own thing. That's not coming together. There's only one nation under Christ, and that's in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under command of GEN.YAHANNA. That's where the body is. That's where the home is, and that's where we must come to learn about the Most High and change our ways and get these demons off of us. Continue to read, Baba Kashaw, if I could.
Yea, gather together.
Again,
not desire.
Slaki, again, he repeats himself. Yea, gather together, because we are hard-necked and we are stiff-necked people, and we hard-headed, and we don't listen when we're told something. So he has to repeat himself to express the urgency and the importance of this matter of us coming together. It's very important.
And if I could, I want to say something on there. I got a scripture, 2 Timothy 3, chapter 3. Let's go there as well.
Khan.
2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1.
Khan. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come.
We're in the last days, so it's going to be perilous times. It's going to be more important that we gather together. You're going to see it in everyday life when things start crumbling in this society that people lean on. Let's get more.
Verse 2, for men shall be lovers of their own selves.
A lot of these cats that learn about the truth, that's why they want to join their own. They want to make their own group. You ever wondered why, when a brother come and learn from the Israelite School of UPK, which they all learn from Israelite School UPK, why go and make another school with a different name and a slightly different doctrine? Why do they do that?
Go ahead, carry on, brothers. The water.
So they love themselves. They don't care about the people and the brothers. They want themselves to be exalted. Right. Let's get a little more.
Covetous, boasters, proud.
Right there, proud. They proud against the truth. They hear what we say and they say, well, they don't know how to put it out there. They got the truth over there, but they just don't know how to put it out. They too rough with it. like the Israelite school UPK don't. We the original. Like we don't know how to do the job.
Right.
Right.
Go ahead.
Blasphemers.
And then they come out and they blaspheme. They teaching all types of doctrines that wasn't in UPK. All right, let's get more.
Disobedient to parents.
They disobedient to the parents that raised them, which is the Israelite school UPK.
Right.
Damn right.
The 7 heads.
Damn right.
Go down to verse 5. We'll finish. We'll close it there.
Verse 5. Having a form of godliness.
They have a form of godliness. They seem like the Israelites. they seem like, okay, they're on a corner. They got a mic. They're speaking about the Bible. It seemed like they got a form. It looked like it. UPK. Go ahead.
But denying the power thereof.
You deny the power thereof when you don't join the one body.
Right.
You denying the power of the Lord, that the Lord done raised up the brothers, taught the knowledge, grown the knowledge, the body of Christ. They deny it. You understand? The discipline, the oversight, the brotherhood, they deny that whole thing. They got a little bit, they got a form of godliness, but they deny the real power of what the Lord gave us. All right. Read the last part.
From such turn away.
Turn away from these cats, man. They're gonna all just turn into Christian churches at the end of the day. All these cats that fake Israelite groups that come up, spring up out of here and there. They start out little radical, little like the UPK. They just gonna soften up, and become a Christian church.
Right.
They'll be in there singing and dancing, having a collection plate, singing songs, and next thing you know, it'll be a Christian church just to say Israelite church.
Right.
That's what it's gonna be. Adawan, I didn't know when you wanted to go into the story.
Hey, keep going because my sound went low, and let me deal with this. All right.
Now
I'm gonna go out and come back in. I was gonna start with the CIA story.
All right, go to verse 6.
For of this sort are they which creep into houses.
This is the sort of guys. This is the sort of cats that are creep into houses. All right. Now let's see how they're gonna creep. Are they gonna come in through the window and rob you and come in with a pistol? How are these sort of cats that make their own Israelite groups and turn away from the UPK, but they want all what the UPK teaches? What sort of cats are these? Go ahead.
And lead captive silly women laden with sins.
That's what they do. They creep into houses and lead captive silly women. They sleeping with all these different sisters, trying to, I'm gonna teach you the Bible, sis. I'm an Israelite. Israelite this, Israelite that. Creeping into houses with silly women.
Let me add something to that. And they try to have sex with these sisters, which they do. And these sisters don't realize that they young learning that they Hebrew Israelite. They wind up being forced into marriages, and then they call us because I've gotten many phone calls from different sisters complaining about them different groups. Just the other day, the Captain Captain Saparia up in Baltimore gave a little bit of counsel to a sister and her husband. He tried to learn the group trying to learn the truth with another group. But when problem arises, they call us to fix their problem. Like them other groups don't know how to counsel the men and women in their groups.
Right.
They just go out there in the corner and they be telling people about that we Israelites and all that. But it's more than that.
Right.
You gotta be able to counsel people within your group. You got to be able to fix these problems that arises in your groups. You got to fix the people. It ain't just going out in the street teaching the Bible. It's also teaching the people, your members, on how to live in this Bible. That's one thing the UPK does. Through counseling of these scriptures, we fix the marriages. We fix households. A lot of them groups is just out there and just trying to put on a show. They ain't disciplined. They ain't organized. It ain't none of that compared to the I.S.U.P.K. Like you said, I.S.U.P.K. is the father of this thing here in America. We brought it out. We started it.
That's right.
Paul said, "You have many teachers, but you have, but I'm your father. You have but one father, and that's the I.S.U.P.K."
Right.
That's right.
Like those are the sons they're disobedient. They don't want to be properly trained and taught by the I.S.U.P.K. But the Lord gonna start bringing a lot of them cats from the other groups, and they're gonna start to come in, and they're gonna realize that other group was unorganized. That other group was a bunch of wolves when it came to women. That's why we so hard on that 6 month to a year rule. You can't be a wolf up in here. You can't be a gorilla up in here. But you can do that in the mother groups. You can do that in the Christian church. It's heavy what you bringing out, huh?
Come on. Let's get the last part of it.
Come on. Led away with diverse lust.
And they lust. These brothers have a lust. They lust that they want to just be the leader. They want to be in charge, but they don't want to go through the training, the strenuous years, the discipleship of learning from a man above you. They don't want to go through that. They want to watch some YouTube videos, and then they are YouTube scholars, like Captain Cottas, I would call them, and now they want to lead the people. They think everybody should listen to them after they watch a few hours of YouTube. But that's not how it works. You actually got to come up in this thing. You understand? This is not we teach on the internet, but it's not an internet-based group. We ain't based off the internet.
Right.
But a lot of these groups, they have some success on the internet, and they think, well, we got the key. It's not it. It's a lot more than that. And and like General was saying, when they run into that, then they see. They say, oh, damn, I don't really have what it takes. We too disorganized. We too undisciplined. We got people coming in, and we don't know how to really help these people. We got brothers coming in. We don't know how to fight these demons. And what happens? Like you read in the scriptures, them demons, brothers come in off the streets, rally. They go in there. And brothers be sleeping with their woman or different problems. Brothers be fighting.
Right.
They be fighting the new people that coming in. Now they physically fighting. Because the demon that be on the people jump on the fake teachers.
Right. Exactly. And that's where you get all them break-offs from. Because they eventually leave that group and then try to start their own group. So you get a break-off of a break-off of a break-off of a break-off to loving Esau, saying he could be saved. That's where it go right back into Christianity.
And I give a quick story. Officer Tarap, who came into school and did it the right way, he first was with a fake group, fake Israelite church. And the main guy didn't want the sisters to have a ice cream social event. The sisters said, to hell with him, we're going to still have the ice cream social event. And they went across the street. They set up a tent across the street and had the ice cream social right in front of the guy's building. So, and the guys inside the building, Tarap's with him. And Tarap's like, man, we got to, this is not good. We got to do something. The dude's like, nah, let's all go through the back door. And then Tarap said he's scared. He's scared of these women. And then he knew the Spirit of the Lord is not in this place.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That's when he knew it.
Right.
So what you said is 100% correct, General. Even brothers that testify to that.
Yeah, God. Because they always tell us the stories. You know what I mean? All the time I get phone calls, brothers that come in, they be like, yeah, man, we got brothers in DC that was messing with them some free cat. And they recognize, he was like, the spirit ain't in them cats like it is with y'all. He said, I even tried to stay, but he said, I just couldn't stay with them cats.
And there's one last verse, if we got enough time to grab it. verse
Go ahead,
7.
brother.
2 Timothy 3 and 7.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 7. Ever learning.
They ever learning. They're always learning new stuff.
Let me say something on what you just said. Let me tell you, man, there's brothers be sending me certain books. Like a lot of brothers don't realize, like the making of books, there's no end. There's a lot of books that these cats are following that goes against the scriptures. One cat sent me a book. I purchased the book anyway. Come to find out, the book is trash, but I'm glad I brought the book because it's basically showing me how brothers think. And I always said, every book you buy don't necessarily mean it's the truth. It has to correlate with the scriptures. So I'm reading this book, and it's called the Israelites. And this devil goes into it, and he's trying to blast Paul as if Paul was an official. And then he starts to go into some other thing talking about there was a female apostle. Like a lot of red flags come up when it goes against what we're taught. And I learned from the beginning of Commander General Yahanna. He said, man, you got to teach what I teach. He said, them 7 brothers that you mentioned, Captain Kapash, they went through all that, like the book of Enoch, the book of Jasper. He said, you don't have to do no research. They did it for you. Now, this is all way before the internet. My point to mention is a lot of them will get up and try to battle us, but they'll never tell you that comes from that book. When they try to blast Paul. I had another Old Testament cat, but I already had read this book. And it talks about, Jesus Christ being the Messiah, which, of course, I like to use the word Jesus Christ for the public, but it's Yahweh Shah. Read this book. I did a breakdown on this show. So this cat pops up in Clubhouse and said that there were other messiahs. I didn't say anything, but the sisters started feeding into him. But I read the book, and those so-called messiahs was no more than the like the Black Panther Party during the Roman Empire. You know what I mean? They wasn't trying to tell black people to fix the Israelites to fix themselves and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments like Christ was doing. Like he walked that walk and showed them how to fulfill the law. These cats were just angry with the Romans because they was occupying the land and they was mistreating Israelites. So they would rise up, and the Romans were calling them like bandits. But I watched how brothers come up with these books as if they official. Not every book and everything in a book is official. So you got to watch what you're reading.
Khan. And there's a little more left on the scripture, if you could, warrior.
And never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
And like the general was saying, all these books, it take them all these different ways, but they never can come to the knowledge of the truth.
Right.
Because and what you're saying is heavy, Adawan, because when I was in school, or in university, and I was doing when I was first learning the truth, I had a lot of different books that I could pull from and the internet, but you would cross reference, or
right.
If it's in 2 or 3 sources, then you could try to you can validate it more than just I just read it one time here. I would do that. I would be able to do that. Brothers don't even do that.
Right.
They read it in one random book, and then they take it as the truth. They don't have teachers who can validate it. They don't have other sources that can validate nothing what they really teach.
Exactly. And like I always was taught, come check with the generals. They'll let you know. Like some books might have a passage that's talking about history, and that you can see it That happened, cross-reference. But when it comes to scriptures, can't nobody write a book and teach me the scriptures.
Come on, man.
Right.
I learned the scriptures from Commander General YAHANNA from the I.S.U.P.K.
Come on, man.
I personally sat in his classes. And when one thing that he takes, offense to is heresy.
God.
Because you can lead other brothers away from following the truth into a lie. Like a lot of these groups, they read these books and they fall right into a lie of the white man. Like you said, you got to cross-reference and you also got to check.
Okay. And that's pretty much it on this this scripture here, Adawan.
God, I was gonna go into the CIA story.
Okay. You got it, Warrior? You don't need me to pull it up, do it? You got it? Okay.
We got it.
I appreciate you, brother. Is that Marah in the back, too?
God.
Shalom, Marah.
Right. Ex-CIA agent drugged, raped dozens of women. Ex-CIA agent drugged and raped dozens of women. Feds say. Now FBI wants the public's help.
Right. Like this devil, CIA agent, he up in Mexico, he's raping women. You know what I mean? Like he's stealing, he's doing all kinds of wickedness. But as black men in the truth, we know, black and Hispanic men, we know that the CIA is a wicked organization. You know what I mean? They done flooded our neighborhoods with all kind of drugs. You know what I mean? That movie Snowfall was a prime example that you get out how they was infiltrating, LA and, giving them all kind of kilos to sell. Go ahead.
A naked, hysterical woman screaming for help on the balcony of an apartment in Mexico led investigators to
I got it.
Right, no sweat. But this is a serial rapist. And now they're trying to find out, is there any other victims? Of course you ain't gonna hear about the other victims because the other victims is in Mexico. That's where he did all his dirt at, because he thought that he wasn't gonna have to face judgment.
I got a scripture I'm about to pull as well, Adawan.
Come on with it.
Give me 1 second. And then also I got a text that said there was a lot of feedback. So I just wanted to ask the audience, let me know if it's on my end or when another brother speaks, where the feedback coming from.
Yeah, please. That's right.
Come on, I'm ready, sir. Unconscious woman belonging to a former CIA agent turned foreign service officer, according to court documents. Now federal agents are asking for the public's help. The FBI, Washington Field Office, and the U.S. Department of State's Diplomatic Security Service Office of Special Investigations issued a plea Monday for any information relating to 45-year-old Brian Jeffrey Raymond, a longtime CIA agent accused of drugging, sexually assaulting, and photographing dozens of women met on dating apps over the course of 14 years.
Look at that. Over 40, a serial rapist. That's exactly what he is. And that's what they do when the so-called Edomites go into them other countries, man. They go over in them countries and they also commit crime against the 12 tribes of Israel. Because they know that they can get away with it. But the Lord jammed them up. Go ahead.
I got a scripture, Matthew 7 and 16.
Go ahead, brother.
It's like verse 17. Matthew 7 and 17.
Go
ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit.
Right. If it's a good tree or a good organization, it's going to bring forth good fruit. Go ahead.
But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
And like the general was saying, it's the same CIA that was accused and found guilty of flooding the black community with drugs.
Right.
You understand? Right. It's the same organization that was a part of that. And they were a part of getting the drugs from Noriega and the South Americans. And
right.
They were giving them guns to fight and kill each other.
Right.
It's the same organization that was doing that. You can never be surprised. An evil tree going to bring forth evil fruit. And right. this is one of the branches of the United States government.
This is what they do, and what they always do. They go into a country and they demoralize that country. And they steal the natural resources, and then whoever was their puppet, they lock them up and give them all the blame. What was that brother name over in Panama? The brother that they locked up. They gave him like 10 years or something. They called him the strong man of Panama. Well, he's the only one that did time the Iran and Contra scandal of transporting the cocaine.
Would it be General Noriega?
Yeah, it might have been Noriega for Panama. I get him and the other one from Nicaragua mixed up. Yeah, it's probably Noriega. He's the only one that they locked up that paid for it. Oliver North, he said it was in the national security to do those things. And what they basically saying is they had to make that money back to give them arms. Because of course you're going to have to buy it from the arms dealers of America. So they made plenty of money. Plus they destroyed the Black and Latino and the Native American Indians communities.
Right.
A lot of brothers did time. A lot of brothers murdered in them streets. A lot of sisters turned into prostitutes. A lot of people lost good jobs that they had, lost homes. Gentrification came behind that. That caused a lot of havoc in the Black and Latino and the Native American communities, man. That destroyed a lot of us. A lot of brothers got life without parole. A lot of babies were being born addicted to crack. This CIA, like you said, the CIA, all them secret agencies,
right?
They're evil,
right?
And they go around doing evil, man.
And if I could, well, even when this cat here, the article said, the report said 14 years he's been out and about predatorizing women, right, in South America. 14 years.
Right.
He could have hundreds of victims.
Exactly. And they all in Mexico, so how are you going to find out?
And these is women that have to go back to families and have, children and our mothers and sisters and aunties, and
right.
and they've been predatorized. I don't know if we're gonna get to the full report, but in one of the sisters was on the balcony screaming for help because he drugged her.
Right. Now, ain't this crazy? What did Trump say about the Mexicans? He called them criminals and rapists. Ain't that something?
I guess he was projecting, Adawan.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it just shows how much of a hypocrite America is. You know what I mean? Like he go over there and he do all the raping.
Right.
You know what I mean? All the robbing, all the controlling of the drugs. And another thing I found out was I did some research on a lot of them cats that were cartel leaders. A lot of those cats are Amalek. When you start to research them, you start to find out like the movie Scarface. You remember the guy that Tony Montana was first working for?
Khan.
When you research that cat, he of Jewish origin.
Khan.
If I could, Marah would like to say something. If I could,
come on with it, Marah.
The article says a naked hysterical woman screaming for help on the balcony of an apartment in Mexico led investigators to almost 500 unconscious photographs and videos of women.
Of different women, 500. He was a serial rapist.
Okay. And if I could,
10 years, 14 years, that's a decade plus. He would have done it for 20 years if he wouldn't have got caught. Go ahead, Tapash.
Okay, I may cut you off. I was just going to add that the Satan and the Caucasians would tell you, he's dealing with those are all prostitutes and this and that. He's drugging these women.
Right.
These is unsuspecting women. These ain't streetwalkers. He probably got through with raping streetwalkers the first couple rapes he did. Then he said, "This ain't good enough. I need something else."
Right.
You understand? That's how these type of guys work.
Right.
They increase their evil. They're never satisfied with the little evil they doing. Buying a prostitute is evil, but that ain't enough. Now he got to rape the prostitute. That ain't enough. Now he got to drug and rape her. That ain't enough. Then he has to go to a sister who's not even a prostitute, drug and rape her. It just keeps going on and on with these demons, man. With these guys.
He probably was tying them up and beating them.
That was in the report also. She had injuries on her vagina and her arms and her legs.
Look at that. Goddamn.
Good, sir.
Go ahead.
If I could, this is in the story. Relating to 45-year-old Brian Jeffrey Raymond, a longtime CIA agent accused of drugging, sexually assaulting, and photographing dozens of women from a dating app.
Yeah.
If I could, says met on a dating app over the course of 14 years.
And if I could, that goes into another point that's in the scriptures that our leaders did not teach. That our women need to stay away from devils, man.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot of sisters who have a lot of tragedies of dealing with the oppressor in relationships.
Exactly. They don't want to bring that out. They don't never want to bring that out. It was just recently. It was a story of a sister dating a white boy. I don't know if Marah has it. She was dating a Edomite, and the Edomite killed one of her sons, and the body had been in the house for almost a year.
God. And I got another one as well. Oh, go ahead, other one.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say another one in down in the South, New Orleans, Louisiana type area. There was a sister, Officer Tarat brought this out, that was always supporting Blue Lives Matter, right? She's supporting the police. There's videos of police brutality, and she's like, these guys deserve it. This and that. Come to find out, she was sleeping with a cop, an oppressor, a cop. And that cop was married. And I guess she may have gotten pregnant or something, but he decided to end it. But you know how these guys end it. He came in her bed at night and shot her in the head.
That was the Lord.
And killed her. Yeah.
That was the Lord.
So supposedly, so his wife wouldn't find out about this sister that he's sleeping with, that he sees as nothing but more than a damn slave monkey.
Yeah. You can't get on social media and blast God's chosen people and uplift the wicked, the wicked stuff that Esau is doing to your own people. Like, you a traitor, and she got what the Lord gave her. She got a traitor's judgment. Like, she was a bedouin and a wicked ass gremlin. Like, I know my people go through some things, and we out here doing, crazy and heinous crimes, and it's because of the most of the time, and 95% of the time, it's because of the condition that Esau had put on us since we came over here from slavery.
Right.
You know what I mean? So listen, I don't feel no remorse for the sister. Damn that. I don't feel no remorse for the sister. I don't feel no remorse for what a brother gets if he a traitor too. Like, we got to stop this, and thanks be to the Most High that he's now stepping in. You need to send me that story too. I might look for that story, because that's a heavy story there.
Yeah, Officer Tarab brought it out and found it. About a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I know, but I like. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I hate hearing when black people take the defense of the wrong that the white man is doing. Like, I really despise that. I've always despised it. Coming up as a young man, I used to see stuff like that to tear my spirit apart. Now I'm older, and it still tears my spirit apart, and I'm in the truth. Because I've always had a love for my people, man. I always had compassion for my people, man. I don't see how black people can have it. I mean, like, how do you raise your children and they go through college and all that, and then they disrespect black people as they seeing black people being murdered and beaten in the streets, like it's our fault. Like, that's disgusting, man.
And if I could, and it all goes back, thank the Most High for the brothers going into Mexico, Officer Yashikar and Lahab and Karyash, who just took a trip down there, because that's what our Israelite brothers need. They need the Spirit of the Lord, so they can teach them sisters to not go on date naps with devils, because he looked like he's successful and he's got money and he's gonna help them, and
right.
It's all the rules. You'll get there, he'll knock you over your head, and you'll be a victim for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Let me go. Hey, y'all finished with this story?
I don't come.
All right, give me that next story about the immigration, the border with the Hondurans. Check this out. Being that you spoke on that, Kapash, this is a heavy story of what goes on that they don't really bring out all the time. But being in the truth, we know it's happening, because we know how law enforcement is toward Latinos and blacks and Native American Indians. We know this has been going on ever since we came to this country. Go ahead and read the story if you got it, Marah.
So which title was it, sir?
I think it's immigrants.
It's not the Haiti story, right?
No, the next one I want to do. It's the.
I only got like 4 stories from you.
Okay, let me send it to you right now.
I don't have the Haiti story either, sir.
Okay.
I can send him the Haiti story if you want.
Okay. God, just give us a minute. I know where it's at. My fault. Give us a minute. He's gonna bring it up.
And while he's getting that story, if it's to Wab, make sure you paying your tithes. 10% of all money you earn go to the ISUPK.com. Go to the men of the Lord. This is pay your tithes. It's very important. It's a law. If you're not paying your tithes, you're breaking the laws of the Most High.
Right. Cut. You know what I mean? Pay them tithes. We're gonna support this truth. Like I always tell brothers and sisters, like even if you don't come in, you should pay your tithes and you should support us. Some brothers might be a little too weak, or they may not want to do what we do, but like what we're doing, support the truth. You know what I mean? We got brothers that are blocked. You know what I mean?
Oh God. I have the story.
You know what I mean? Okay. You know what I mean? Some brothers and sisters should just support the truth anyway. Like I always say, this is like black business, but the only difference is this is the Lord's black and a Latino and Native American Indian nation. You're supposed to support it. And you're supposed to pay your tithes.
Right.
Go ahead and start that story.
It should not have happened. Asylum officers detail migrants according to accounts of abuse. As U.S. Border Patrol vehicle near McAllen, Texas, on July 20th, 2021, more than 160 reports obtained by Human Rights Watch revealed details of mistreatment that asylum seekers describe experiencing from border officials and while in U.S. custody.
Right.
A Honduran man seeking a safe haven in the United States said a Border Patrol officer told him that he would not be granted asylum, a determination the officer was not authorized to make. And when the migrant...
Stop right there. Now this officer is going to tell this cat, you won't be granted asylum. Like who the hell is he to make that decision? That ain't even his damn job.
Right.
He's supposed to be he's damn near like a security guard. And now he's going to tell you the laws. You know what I mean? Like how in the hell can he tell him what he'll be granted? Go ahead.
And when the migrant refused to sign paperwork, the officer said he would be sent to jail where he would be raped. In a report prepared by an asylum officer at Citizenship and Immigration Services, the officer wrote that threatening rape for refusing to sign paperwork was a gross violation.
And that's what they do to the children of Israel. That ain't happening to the Afghanistanians that came over here, that who they was once at war with. But he gonna tell him, if you don't sign these papers, I'm sending you to jail, and in jail, you're gonna be raped. Those are threats. That's how they treat us, man. Go ahead.
And if I could, this is another reason why fighting over legislation and laws and getting the paperwork and the law changed, a lot of times that's in vain. It don't mean shit. Excuse my language. Right. Because they're not following the laws that's on the books now.
Exactly. That's exactly. And here it is, Captain Kapash, and the black leadership that we done voted for, they ain't making them enforce it. So what the hell do we need with a black representative when he in Congress? Well, go ahead.
I'm really sorry that this happened to you. The asylum officer recalled telling the man it should not have happened. In a separate account of misconduct, a migrant told an asylum officer that after she tried to run from a border patrol officer.
Now this is a female. This is a young female. Go ahead.
That after she tried to run from a border patrol officer along the southwestern border in April 2017, he caught me and threw me to the ground in a very aggressive way. He pulled me up 3 or 4 times and kept slamming me on the ground. She said the officer also grabbed her by her hair and kicked her in the rib cage and lower pelvis, causing her to bleed.
You see that? He gonna kick her in near her vagina area. He throw her to the ground, pick her up, slam her, pick her up again, slam her, pick her up again, slam her, pick her up again, slam her, and then start kicking her. Give me what is that? Isaiah 47 verse 6. That's crazy. Like he out there practicing martial art as if it was a punching bag.
Right.
And you know the Honduras, their women are pretty short. So it's nothing to boast about picking up a Honduras woman and slamming her on the ground.
Shalom, Warrior.
How we doing?
I got a scripture as well, General, after you, of course.
Okay.
Kawaka, ready, sir? For the scripture.
God.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance.
Right. The Lord was mad with us because we broke his laws and started following other gods. You know what I mean? So the Lord put us in this captivity, but not to be punished by Esau, whereas he doing all kind of manner of wickedness to us, and he forward the affliction, as it says in Zephaniah 1:15. Go ahead.
Kawaka. And given them into thine hand, thou didst shew them no mercy.
Right. The Lord said, man, he put us into their hands, and they showed us no mercy. To slap a woman 4 times, and then kick her in her pelvis where she'll start to bleed, like use an animal. And not only was he an animal, but he was a damn punk.
Okay.
Esau and that border patrol is a bunch of punks. Read on, brother.
Upon the ancients hast thou verily heavily laid thy yoke.
Right. He laid a hard yoke on us. But the Afghanistan, they get all kind of help. Because those are Edomites. They get all kind of help. But the 12 tribes, no. He gonna beat that woman senseless till she start bleeding. No. He gonna tell that other brother that if he don't sign those papers, you're going to jail and you're gonna get raped. Like Esau is a monster, man. Give me go ahead, Kapash. After Kapash, give me Ezekiel 35 and 10. But go ahead, Kapash.
Khan, if I could, I want let's get Lamentations 4 and 17. Real quick. Lamentations 4 and 17.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
That's right.
Right. Right.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
This is it right here. We watch for a nation that cannot save us. You got Hispanics in America that think because they living in America that they can look down on the other Hispanics and they can be Republicans. They feel like they've been saved.
Right.
But everybody, the scripture says the man of sin gonna be revealed. You understand? So all these things is gonna come out, and every person who, like I said, hell is preserved for Satan and his angels. And so all you blacks and Hispanics who for the wall, for the border, you want all the border police to stop all the illegals and blah blah blah. You got your punishment coming. You got your day coming too.
Traitors.
Come.
Traitors and sellouts, man. We got to start back using those words, man. That word sellout was way back in the 80s. You called a black person or a Latino person a sellout, they got upset. They got upset. They got highly upset.
You know? And I think they're even trying to ban the word coon right now. That's all right. We're gonna keep it up.
Yeah. They definitely tried. They blocked me for 30 days about 2 or 3 years ago on Facebook. You know what I mean? So we got to use those words, man. We got to make our people start to separate from Uncle Tom's, from sellouts. You know what I mean?
Okay. And if I could get the last of verse 21, this is it right here. The second part of verse 21. Or no, just verse 21.
From the top, sir?
Yep.
Rejoice and be glad.
The Lord got a good word for us. That's why he's telling us here, rejoice and be glad. Go ahead.
O daughter of Edom.
Go ahead.
That dwellest in the land of Uz.
The Lord talking to these oppressors right now. Go ahead.
The cup also shall pass through unto thee.
The same cup that you giving everybody, all the 12 tribes to drink, soon that cup is going to flip and turn on you. It's already starting with the coronavirus. Then we're gonna be World War III. And guess what? You're gonna be at war, and there's gonna be nations kicking your women in the stomach. You understand? Best believe it's everything that you did is gonna come back on you double. Go ahead.
Right.
Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked.
You're gonna be drunk with your destruction, white oppressor. And you're gonna be drunken with the wine of the wrath of the Most High. You understand? You may not understand what that means now, but you will very soon. All you oppressors watching, and then brothers and sisters watching, you best believe and rest assured that the Lord, that he sits on high, he regardeth the matter. and he sees it. He sees everything, even these reports. And the thing that's so disappointing about these reports, every time I read about one report, I know there's tons of reports that nobody ever heard of.
Exactly.
And that's what really breaks my heart. You understand? Because that's just a speck of what's all going on all around with hundreds of our thousands and maybe millions of our people.
Exactly.
So best believe. Go ahead.
That's heavy, because I was saying the same thing. It was just like when I was coming up in the 80s, there weren't no cell phones around, but the cops was murdering us and beating us up. You know what I mean? You know, of course, I had a couple of run-ins with the cops, but ain't nobody have a cell phone to record it. You know what I mean? So you just took it and told your homies, and they'd be like, "What happened? What happened?" Yo, man, you know he roughed me up, and then it'd be that. You know what I mean? You might be limping, holding your chest. You know what I mean? But it wasn't no cameras out. We've been through this. Like Black Lives Matter and all this. This ain't something new. They've been beating us like this since we came out of slavery. It's just that now that we can record it and black people can see it, it's supposed to help us separate. Forget about the justice. You ain't gonna get no justice in America because you got a wicked system. The only way we can fight them is separate from them. Hey, give me a scripture just to piggyback off of what Kapash was saying. Give me 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Like he has an incoming. All we got to do is fix ourselves, come together and fix ourselves, man. And work out our problems. You know? So it's probably like hundreds of thousands of reports of them. I knew a Latino brother that got deported and young cat. I'm talking, he had to have been like 17 when he came over here. Came over here by himself. They deported him. He disappeared for a while, and then he popped back up. And I said, yo, what happened to you, man? He said, yeah, man, they deported me 2 years ago. I said, damn. I said, how you get back? He said, the same way I came here the first time. I knew another Hispanic brother, Latino brother. He came from Guatemala. Yo, the stuff that that our people go through to come to this country thinking that this country gonna save them. This Latino brother said he saw an anaconda in the jungle, and he said the anaconda was this wide. I said, well, what did you do? He said, I ran that way, and the snake went the other way. Then you got sisters that a brother told me how they get raped on their way to America. Like, we don't realize what they go through trying to get here. The only thing black people and white people think is that they're coming to steal our jobs. They ain't coming to steal our jobs, man. They running from poverty. And you know something, Kapash, you know what I hate to hear, and brothers, you know what I hate to hear? I get tired of hearing this. How they talk about the Asians and the Africans and the Arabs and the East Indians and the so-called fake Jew and the Italians. You know what I mean? They always say the same song. I came over here with nothing. And I'm like, what the hell do you think we came over here with?
Right.
At least you had clothes on your back.
Right.
We came across bare ball naked with chains around our wrists and our ankles and our waists. That's how over here in America, man. They always want to give me some goddamn sad story. You know, I came just the other day, East Indian was telling me, yeah, you know, I came here with nothing. And it's a mechanic shop. And he was telling me all this. And I hate hearing it. But of course, you know, I try to stay in order. out there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna, shame the Israelite school of practical knowledge by going off in a tirade. But in my mind, I said, listen, these heathens always say that same song about how they came over here with nothing. Every time we built something, they burned it down or stole it from us. Every time we move up, they change the game plan, start locking brothers up for child support, incarcerating brothers, man. A lot of brothers don't realize the crack epidemic, and I know it sounds evil as hell, but that was the only employment for a young black man, a young Latino man. Wasn't no goddamn jobs given to us. You would try to get a construction job, they wouldn't even let you in the union. The Italians had that locked down, and the Irish had it locked down. Brothers went from robbing banks to selling drugs to being killed. So I never want to hear that madness about they came here with nothing. Come on, man. Hey, read 2 Thessalonians 1, verse 6.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 1 and verse 6.
So it was heavy what you was bringing about their end. Go ahead and read it.
Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Right. America has been a trouble to us. The heathen nations have been a trouble to us. God is going to recompense, going to make them pay for everything. Go ahead.
Verse 7. And to you who are troubled, rest with us.
Right. You brothers and sisters, rest with us. Their day going to come.
That's right.
And this is where my rest at is with the I.S.U.P.K. in the spirit of Christ with the Most High. Read on.
When the Lord Jesus shall be revealed from heaven with
brother, say Yahweh Shah, brother.
When the Lord Yahweh Shah shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels.
Read on.
Verse 8. And flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not God.
That's what the Lord is going to do. They don't know God. God haven't dealt with those nations. The Most High said in Amos 3:1, out of all the families of the earth, I've known you. Lord said, I don't know them like that. I know you.
And if I could, he also said, if judgment will begin at my house, where will the sinner and this righteous scarcely be saved? Where will the sinner and the unjust appear? You understand?
Right.
Like these heathens gonna get it. They're gonna
right.
get it worse. They're gonna get it real bad. World War III is gonna be horrendous.
Right. And the sinner is the one that's down with these other nations of Israel. That's the sinner. It's a sin to want to support and love the people that are unjust.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one. We done with that? I invited this brother here, Yatazal, because he's the camp leader over Haiti, and I was trying to find out about this game, and he gonna break it down. Me and him was discussing it, Captain Kapash, and you know all the brothers, y'all can chime in on it. So he gonna bring out this story. And Yatazal, if you have a story, you can also send it to Marah. But he gonna bring out the story that I was just checking out that was sent to me. Marah, you got that story yet?
Sir. I'm reading it right now, sir. So like in Haiti, the difficult relationship of gangs and business. Port Prince, Haiti, Yuri Mebs knew that the call was coming, and she was terrified. Mebs was a member of one of the richest families in Haiti.
I want to stop right there. That's a heathen. That's a heathen. If you have a picture, if you can put the picture up? But it looked like an East Indian, Elam. And she's like one of the wealthiest families in Haiti. So now she's worried about, what she owned in Haiti. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It's unmuted, sir. It's unmuted.
Okay. Mebs is a member of one of the richest families in Haiti. She owns Sodecosa, Haiti's largest industrial park, which warehouses 93% of the nation's imported food. Like everyone else, she was watched with despair as her country descended into chaos since the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. Her office got the call one early morning in August. It was from Jimmy Cherizier, aka Barbecue, a former policeman who leads the G9 gang coalition, which controls the coastal strip of Port-au-Prince. Most of Haiti's food and gasoline flows through his domain, and he can stop it with a single word. Barbecue's demand $500,000 a month, a war chest he claimed, which would be used to buy food for the hungry and fight for democracy. Pay the price, no problems. Refuse, and Sodecosa would be ransacked, and the gangs also will block the roads around the port terminal owned by the Mebs family. This story is a part of a series, Haiti Business, Politics, and Gangs, produced with support from the Poitiers Center on Crisis Reporting. Mebs knew that the threat was credible. 3 neighboring warehouses were looted in June. It came down to math. How much do we make? Can we afford it? The answer was no. Should she fight back? Again, no. We are not going to shoot a gun to defend a bag of rice. There was nowhere to turn for help. In Haiti, there is no functioning government. For decades.
And if I could say something real quick, so the gang is supposedly trying to extort money out of this food company or this Indian people's company, and she's saying she's not going to raise a gun to defend a bag of rice. She's a lie. She's lying. Is gonna say it later in the report some things that she said also. Like, right. They're gonna make her seem like she's the victim, but she ain't paying she barely paying any taxes. She's running amok in that country. So that $500,000 would be real money that would go to the communities that's right. around that actually live there and would get that money for schools and housing and water.
Right.
But instead, look at her. She's sitting fat on a hog.
Exactly. She living up on a mountain. You know what I mean? And I believe she might be an Arab. But Yatazal, you can chime in, brother.
Sir. If I may, sir, these people, most of them are Ishmael. They came in the late 1800s because they were experiencing religious wars in their countries. So a lot of them came from Pakistan, Syria, Palestine. A lot of them came from that region, and then Haiti, of course, loving heathens, we opened the door for them, and now they are the ruling class in Haiti. They control
like the curse, he Right. Where's that scripture
It
at?
says we will be the tail, he will be the head, and we be the tail. He'll get up above thee very high, and you'll be
Right.
very low. He'll be the lender, you be the borrower.
Right. Go ahead. That's
No,
right.
sir. And this is why this is one of the major things that caused the president assassination, because the president, he was a genuine brother. He really cared for his people. Because of the moves that he was taking moves that will benefit the population. And these people, there's a company that's ruled by one of these Arabs, and they were making $20 million. I'm talking about U.S. money. We're not talking about Haitian money. $20 million a month. And that company is supposed to produce electricity. And the only electricity we were getting out of $20 million a month was 4 hours of electricity in the capital.
Damn.
We were paying for blackout, basically. That's what we were paying for. And the president cut a lot of these contracts. He cut the contracts of a lot of these heathens, and they were upset about it because they rule they decide who becomes president. They decide who becomes, prime minister. They decide.
Right.
These people, they are placed there, but of course, America has a hand in that as well, because they don't allow anything to happen without their permission.
Right.
Kind if I could, America and other countries are getting their cut by allowing these other set of heathens to live there and run the businesses there.
Right.
And these heathens always kick back cuts and deals to America for their place on that island, Haiti. I just want to read one part of the article, which gives you a mindset, because what you're saying is so heavy about the President Moise. It says here, this lady and another multi-million millionaire who lives in Haiti, who's a heathen Arab. LaTorcha and Mevs have proposed a special police unit trained by international experts to fight the gangs. And they want to put Barbecue behind bars. Now, Barbecue is a brother who's in the shanty towns. He's with the people. He's fighting supposedly for the people as a leader. I roll with him more. I'm not saying he's UPK, but I roll with him more than these heathens, because at least he's saying, look, we want water, food, and housing.
Right.
This is what they propose to fight against him.
And he's an ex-cop.
He's a cop.
That's correct.
But it's funny because this is exactly who killed this type of thing they're proposing, is the type of unit that killed the president. A special unit trained by international experts. Right. They said the people that killed the president was a trained special unit, but internationally trained from different countries. Yep. The same unit that killed the president is a unit that was a similar style unit they want to kill Barbecue with.
Right.
Which is a testament to who really killed the president over there.
Exactly.
And if I may bring this article out, let me see if I could share it on the screen. So like it, 1 second. I don't know if you heard out of one. There were 17 Americans that were kidnapped by this gang called.
Right.
You heard about this, right, out of one?
Yeah, but keep going into it.
Right. So now it has been maybe 2 weeks now that America has not done anything about it, and we're talking about an island that is smaller than New York, sir. Haiti is smaller than New York. New York is at least 3 times bigger than Haiti, out of one. And America has not done anything yet to rescue these people. Now this is I don't know if you could see it, Mora, or do I need? Can you see the article that I just posted?
Maybe send it to Mara. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, there you go. So I'm gonna read this. What it says. 17 people, including 3 children associated with an American Christian aid group, were kidnapped on Saturday by a gang in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, as they were leaving an orphanage, according to a former field director for the group Christian Aid Ministries. The former field director, Dan Hooley, said Sunday morning that all the adults were staff members for the group, which has fewer than 30 people in the country. Local authorities said the group that was kidnapped included 16 Americans and 1 Canadian. The group said in statement that a 3-year-old was among them. You could remove it, Maura. The reason that I bring this article out is because, first of all, these missionaries, the reason that they are in Haiti is because they are participating in child molestation. They're molesting a lot of these children. They are kidnapping them. It came out years ago that there was this specific group. They tried to go to the Dominican Republic with 33 children, cross the border, no paperwork, no permission from the government, and they got caught. And this is what these missionaries are there. But with this specific article, I don't want them. This is a smokescreen, because there's no way 17 Americans is going to be kidnapped by a Haitian gang, and America is not going to do something about it immediately. What's happening right now is that they use a lot of these brothers. A lot of these brothers, they use them to destabilize the country. And the president was talking about that. In one of his speeches where he was talking to the people, he mentioned how they were trying to extort the government, the Haitian treasury, for, I believe, $350 million for a contract. Right. And he said that he sat on that contract. It was a 4G contract. He said he sat on it because they were trying to get money, and this is what they do. If they want to do a contract, let's say to build a road, build that road, it might cost maybe $1 million. What they will do, they will charge $10-20 million, and then they will not even do a job that is gonna last. They'll do a job that's probably gonna last a year or two, so that when that year or two ends, then they gotta renew the contract and make another $20 million over a $1 million job. Now, with these so-called missionaries that were kidnapped, this is a way for the U.S. to go into the country to disarm all these people, all these gangs that they arm. Because right now, all of these gangs, they have heavy, when I say heavy, machineries that even the police, the Haitian police, do not have. And those mulattoes, those Arabs, they are concerned about the amount of weapons that these gangs have, because it is a threat to them. And now these so-called people that were kidnapped, that gang, there's no way that gang is not being backed up by the U.S., because they would have been got all of these 17 missionaries. So this is just to end with this. This is a way, just like Napoleon did in 1803. He sent his General Leclerc to disarm the different factors of the Haitian people that they were using to control the population. So now these gangs, they are nothing but political tools, and they were used to destabilize the country so they could get to the president, to the point where he even got assassinated. Now they got to take the guns off the streets.
Right. And if I could, because what the brother bringing out is so heavy. And these different Arabs, they have huge warehouses, huge factories and warehouses full of goods that they get. And sometimes they pay the people and the gangs in food to keep them from destroying the warehouse or looting the warehouse. Right. So they'll come out with a truck of rice and corn and tomatoes to pay off the gangs. But sometimes they will pay their own gang. They will pay a gang to protect their warehouse. So they'll give them money and guns and pay that gang to protect their warehouse. Right. And that's where you get these gangs that came up. Like even in this report, they showed a picture. They had a Galil, which is basically like a Israeli AK-47, which is like the top of the line rifle, above an AR, above an AK. It's as top as it gets. It costs like $2,000, $3,000 in America, and they got it in Haiti.
Right.
That ain't just the Haitian gangs getting together and mugging up. And no, that's international weaponry. Right. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the factors that's going on here. You got these big Arab, Indian businessmen, and they're either paying gangs or paying a gang to go shoot another gang.
Right.
Because that gang is threatening. One guy, he said his whole warehouse was looted one time. He looked up his security cameras. The cameras was off. He talking to his guards. He's over there in another country, and the guards is like it was a mob of people, and the gang with guns. We just let them in because there's nothing we could do, and they just walked in and trained everything out the whole warehouse, all the goods. You know, so that's what you see. Did all type of destabilization in that country. But this is the thing. Black people, you need to prepare because that type of stuff gonna come here. That type of stuff gonna come here to America and all these different kingdoms.
Right.
Where you ain't gonna have just a police force. You're gonna have special police forces and gangs. General Muhammad prophesied, or the UPK been prophesying this. It's gonna be warlords, and we in the UPK gonna lead the charge. We're gonna take over. But you know, your Christian leaders ain't preparing you for the days to come.
No.
And another thing about what's going on in Haiti with them, I watched a video of a huge compound they had in Haiti, and it was nothing but children there. It was one adult black, looked like Haitian male, and like 3 white males. And there was like 50 kids all around. They had bunk beds. Oh, it's like some type of, I don't know, like he said, missionary foundation. And I'm like, look at all these children in this video. What the hell's going on here?
It's a rough one.
You know, so what you're saying is so heavy that it's like a hotbed of, you know, child molestation.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, look, it's just a couple of Caucasian males here. Where's the women? There ain't no women here. I'm seeing about 30 kids.
Yeah.
Ain't no women. Yeah. It was suspicious when I watched the video, but now as he bring it out, it confirms, see what they're doing.
Yeah. And we all know that homosexuality runs hard within, you know, the Christian, you know, church. All those organizations is Christian based, which means it ain't nothing but a bunch of child molesters over there watching those kids. But the story's gonna come out as them kids get a little older. Just like with the Native American Indians, how they came out with their stories once they became adults. Hopefully that the stories will come out beforehand. But I remember them trying to snatch up them kids. And they was about to load those kids on planes and take them to America. Yeah. Yeah.
We can't hear you, Yatazar. He was trying to talk.
So like I don't want them. If I may, I don't want them. It came out already that the UN they were over there fathering with children, with Haitian teenagers, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and they were having sex with these kids. Matter of fact, I have the article right here. Let me share it real quick. Let me share this article. And then this didn't make, even though they wrote about it, it didn't make. Oh, Most High in Christ. There you go. It's right there. All right. Let me read this real quick. UN peacemakers in Haiti allegedly fathered children with women and girls before abandoning them, according to the new report building on previous accusation of sexual misconduct carried out by peacemakers on the vulnerable populations they are ordered to protect. As part of the report published Tuesday in the Conversation, researchers surveyed 2,500 Haitians about the experiences of local women and girls in areas that hosted the United Nations. 13 years stabilization mission in Haiti, also known as MINUSTA, of that group, about 265 people told stories featuring children fathered by UN personnel, stitching together a troubling stream of coercion and abuse that left girls as young as 11. I'm going to repeat that again. Stitching together a troubling stream of coercion and abuse that left girls as young as 11 to raise children by themselves in condition of extreme poverty.
Let me ask you. So they got pregnant.
They got pregnant, sir. Children that probably just came on their flyer. You know, the children come on their flyer, 11, 12-year-old. And these UN devils, these soldiers, they are in Haiti having sex with these children, raping
Right.
them. And this has
Listen.
been going on for years. It's been going on forever, because I remember I was about 8, 9 years old. That was back in 1994. I remember there was a soldier that escaped, and that soldier lived in the street that I lived on, and they came and snatched him up. And I remember that day, because that day I went next door and to buy cigarettes for my grandmother. And when I came out, I had, I don't know what it was. If it was an AK, it was a long rifle in my head. You know, it was a UN soldier, because they've been in Haiti forever. They've been in Haiti ever since 1915, when they came to occupy Haiti to change the constitution. And these people, they having children by these kids, and these kids that they're raising, who know what they do years later, because they know they could track who they impregnated. They could track the population, because they have surveys and all of that on us. And probably these are the kids, because these kids are not Haitians. These kids are devils.
Damn.
This is what they are doing to pollute our inheritance. Like it says, that Commanding General Yohanna taught us in the Bible. They've polluted our inheritance. Right. Taking daughters of Zion and impregnating them, raping them, you know, left and right.
Right.
And I got a scripture too, Adwan. You, if you had something you want to say.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you throw this.
Let's get Matthew 13 and 29. Matthew 13 and 29.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 29. But he said, nay.
Salakia, Matthew 12 and 29.
Salakia. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 29. Or else, how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods?
Right there. The strong man's house is the men of Haiti. You understand? You brothers in Haiti, if any of you watching, you need to, it's time for you to strengthen up in the spirit of the Lord. You understand? Because there's no way they could spoil Haiti that way unless the men in Haiti, you know, were not fighting back. It's time for our people to fight back, you understand, in many different ways against this evil that's coming on to us.
Yeah.
Because they trying to, that's why they want to get rid of barbecue. That's why they want to get rid of the gangs and things like that, because they can't come in and just rape all the children as much as they want. They can't come in and just steal all the money from the government the way that they want. Go ahead, anymore?
Except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
That's what they want to do against the men of Haiti. They want to bind the men of Haiti in religions and death and drugs and killing, so they can spoil the people of Haiti, the women and the children and the resources and everything that's there in the house of those men. So it's time for all our Haitian brothers and Judite, all 12 tribe brothers, to stand the hell up. We got to stand up and gather together as an army of the Lord so we can defend against this madness.
Right.
All our women getting abused and beaten and everything like that. But we ain't coming into the truth to really defend them, to defend this house.
Right.
That's what we got to do. And until we do that, they're gonna keep spoiling our damn women and children.
Yep. And listen, and all we got to do, the fight is spread the truth. The truth got to hit these islands, got to hit Central America, it has to hit South America. That's how we fight, with the truth. The truth is our weapon.
Come on, God.
It's our weapon. We ain't got to get a bazooka. We ain't got to get a tank. We ain't got to get no plane. We ain't got to get no jet. We ain't got to vote nobody in. We ain't got to do none of that. All we got to do is spread the truth of the Most High word. That's all we got to do. And that becomes our main weapon, becomes a sword against anything that come up against us, and everything that have came up against us that destroyed us. Give me Matthew, because I'm going to piggyback off you. Matthew 13 and give me 24 about the children getting pregnant. And this is how Esau is. He tried to wipe us out, slowly but surely. He wish he could do it at a fast rate. That's why he throws so much, stuff on us: abortion, homosexuality, drugs. gangs, incarceration. Go ahead, brother, you got it.
Kawakah. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13 and verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. Verse 25. But while he slept,
and while this brother slept, like he went and planted good seeds. So after he planted the good seeds, he slept. That's what's been happening to us. We sleeping on it. That's why they got interracial commercials being pushed more and more and more. Homosexuality being pushed. We sleeping on it. You know what I mean? As a people, I.S.U.P.K is not sleeping on it.
That's right.
But all these other groups, they sleeping on it. And I ain't just talking about other Israelite groups. I'm talking about that Kemetic bull BS, the Christian church, the Muslim mosque. Because once those kids get adult, that these devils done had sex with these 11-year-old girls, she can't raise no child. That child comes in the population, and we're going to look at him as being black.
Right.
So go ahead. While he slept,
his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat.
Right. And that's what the so-called white man has done. He's always done that, man. We call that rocking the cradle. Putting his seed in our women, the blacks and Latinos and Native American Indians. That's why you got white people popping up talking about they Indian. They got 15% Indian in them. Is my phone going in and out?
Nah, you tore out, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, brother.
And went his way. Verse 26. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 27. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him,
Them Edomite seeds, those are the tares among the wheat, which is the children of Israel. So they grow up together. They in our neighborhoods. They know their father is white. They'll tell you, yeah, my father is white. You know what I mean? My grandfather is white. Go ahead. I'm not talking about the idiots that get a DNA ancestry and be talking that crazy nonsense, because all that is lies and garbage. It's silliness. It's foolishness. Go ahead.
Didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? Verse 28. He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servants said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? Verse 29. But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Right. He said, no. He said, because if you take the tares up, you're going to take up the wheat. No. Go ahead. Read on.
Verse 30. Let both grow together until the harvest.
Right. Yeah, let both of them grow together until the harvest. That harvest is talking about when Christ come back and when the children of Israel is come back into this knowledge of the Most High. Read on, brother.
And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
All right. That's what happens to the the Edomite seed among black women. That's why it's a shameful thing for black people to commit such a heinous lifestyle of always wanting to marry a heathen. You cause confusion. Now, in the case of the Haitian little kids, they have no choice. The white man's the damn devil. But that's why Captain Kapash brought it out about the man's hands is being bound to stop that. And what's really bound in that black man? Christianity, democracy. It's what binding black men, man. It's what turning black men into being, you know, defenseless, weak men. That's why we fight hard against Christianity and Kemet and Islam and atheists. We fight hard against it because they don't live by no rules. They don't live by the laws. And even some of the Israelite groups who ran out and married white women. You got Israelite brothers that claim to be Israelites, knew they was Israelites, and they go get a goddamn Edomite. Or they go get a Filipino, talking about she's Israel. A lot of these cats need to be smacked, man. I ain't saying go out and do it, but I'm just saying a lot of them deserve a good smack. Need to crack their head, man. Any more on that, brother?
That was it, sir.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna go to one last article. Hey, Marat. Let me get that. Let me get that. So-called, what is it? Black Power. With the voting.
You said Black Power with the voting.
Yeah.
Come on. Sir.
Yeah, this is crazy. And Kapash, did I send you this story?
Khan, I read it. I definitely wanted to go into this story.
You know why I say? Because I was going to use Lamentation 4 and 17.
God.
This is a disgusting story. Come on with it, Marat. Once you get it.
Multi-million-dollar Minnesota Black Power Group is using strippers to entice voters.
You hear that? Read that again for the people.
Come on, sir. Multi-million-dollar Minnesota Black Power Group is using strippers to entice voters.
Now, just imagine that. First of all, we know voting is evil. But what's even more evil is that they're using strippers to do it. What's more evil than that is that it's a homosexual group of transgender, whatever you want to call it, because it's all confusion to me. Go ahead. And y'all can chime in anytime y'all want.
A well-funded Black Power Group will use strippers and party buses to entice people to vote for a measure to amend the Minneapolis City Charter to remove the police department later this month. The Black Visions Collective is a Minnesota-based organization that promotes Black power.
And if I could, before you go on, so this group is a group of homos, trans, whores, and the whatnot, right? And they're going to get party buses. They're taking people's money that's supposed to be to help the Black community to get party buses to throw strippers on the buses and take them to the so-called voting booth to stop the police force. Two things. For one, that shit ain't going to work.
One.
It's not going to work. And for two, all they're really doing is just getting all the hoes and transvestites and them together so they can party and strengthen their wicked community. Exactly. That's all they're really doing.
That's the whole objective. The whole objective is to bunch everybody that's a wicked nigga. Get them together and become one strong group. $30 million, and these idiots is going to have come on the party buses to vote the police department out. Like, how stupid can black people be?
Right.
Like, how stupid? Like, ain't nobody coming up against them and telling them that they sound ridiculous. Now, if I was a dude that was hustling, I would rent them party buses. If I owned a strip club, I would bring all the hoes in and get a piece of the money from them. Like, he's drawing all this wickedness. And let me tell you something. Captain Kapas and Yatazar and Marat, do you know that the head of the organization, the founder, is a goddamn Hamite?
Wow.
Igbo Hamite.
And black people love to promote Ham over us. They love to say, look, this is a Hamite, you know, he's got the Hamite garb and the African this and African that. He's close to the motherland. We gotta respect him.
Right. And look, even Israelites do that. He's Igbo. He's goddamn homo.
Right.
Goddamn homo, man.
That's right.
They always want to say that. They always want to talk about the Igbo are Israelites. Well, this Igbo is a goddamn homo.
Sir. And if I may, and this is why, you know, this truth that Commanding General Yahanna has preserved, man, it give us life, because now we can decipher, we can know exactly that, okay, like if we looking at Haiti, for example, a lot of these people, they are considered Haitian. They've been there for 5-10 generations. So they Haitian, they speak Creole. But with the truth, we understand that this is a whole different group of people. This is a whole nother nation, and they will never have our best interest, just like this Hamite right now. Just like this Hamite is pushing our people to be sinners. Because right now they looking at him as if he's black, because he's probably dark skinned, and they like, oh, this is a black man like us. He's for the culture. He's for the people. You know, but meanwhile, it's a whole nother nation with a whole nother agenda to destroy us as a people.
Right. And if I could, this same story happened in the past in the scriptures in our history. There was a time when they took all the Israelites out of Israel and they put other Hamites in there. They took a lot of strong out. I think there was still Israelites there. And they said, okay, we're going to put wicked Israelites over them. We'll make the wicked and the base sort to be the priest. And that's what happened. They done got rid of all the strong black men, or tried to get rid of the strong black men, the strong black leaders. And now they're like, well, shoot, we just got all these crazy Israelites and they have no leader. Let's bring in leaders. We'll bring in the most wicked, baser sort and make them the leaders.
Right.
And that's what
like
they did.
Like Barack Obama.
And so they grabbing the homos, the strippers, the whores, the coons, the sellouts, and said, let's give them the money and make them the leaders. And this is what they're doing. They getting party buses with strippers to supposedly vote into a reform that ain't never gonna fucking happen. Even if you did change the name from police force to public health department, the same thing's gonna happen. You ain't about to get rid of no cops. The mayor can't even control the damn cops. The governor can't even control the cops. The cops turn their back on the New York mayor. Like, you know, we don't got to respect you.
Right.
The America's dealing with the whole damn mutiny of the police right now. The police want to be their own government where they don't have to answer to no damn body.
Right. You know what's so funny? I bet you some devil or some devils that's a homo is supporting them. Like, do you know what their title is? When I researched that, the co-founder, you know, they recognize themselves as the BLGBT. Crazy.
God.
This is like crazy, ridiculous.
God.
Like it's funny how like within the Kemetic community, them dummies don't know Africans in America follow them. I asked Sarnetta, I said, well, where's the he like we not the same people. He even knew it. He knew it. I said, the Africans is not following up under you. They gonna compete to rule over you because you are people that's more destroyed to them. Like they'll live in poverty over in Africa, but when they get here, we the destroyed people. That's how they look at us. Like he's not destroyed, we are.
Come on. And Salaki, it's just heavy. Thanks to the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High, we know these things now. We see these things. They done got the civil rights, the LGBT, the gay community has it seems like they pretty much fully taken over the whole civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Putting that BL on the LGBT community, that's just like solidifying it.
Yeah.
That's solidifying the blacks are under the LGBTQ community.
Right. And it's funny because they'll get any kind of funding.
Mm-hmm.
But when they won't give us no funding.
Right.
Not that we need it, but if we get it, we know what to do with it. We know we're trained properly how to help our people. Like how the hell you gonna defund or get rid of the police department to put the health department in charge? Like that don't even make no kind of goddamn sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how to like a health department ain't gonna fight crime. When you call, if a woman calls 911, she definitely don't want the health department to show up.
The health department gonna have to give her some fines for all the damn violations in that house.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
They're gonna show up and say, "Whoa, hey, I know you arguing with your man, but this sink leaking, you got some mold right there, your floor cracked, your foundation off. This house, you can't even live here."
Yeah, we until you get it fixed, each day we gonna find you. This is considered condemned. You know what I mean?
God.
Like they don't make no sense. I mean, like you know what I mean? Like America is doing that on purpose to pump them up. What we go out on the street and fight against. Like we got to go out and go hard on this. You know what I mean? We got to shame them, man, because they shaming black people, man.
And if I could, another thing for the people watching online, the question is, not that we need the money, but why wouldn't they give the UPK any money to help the people? And most people say, well, it's because you're racist and you don't deal with all the racists. That's not why. The real reason they wouldn't give us the fund, they won't give us no $30 million, is because we would help the people with that $30 million. We actually would change the black community. All that $30 million that was supposed to do what it was supposed to do with it, we would make it really happen. We would really uplift the black community. We would really get the brothers off the drugs and out the prisons and out the gangs. That's why they would never give us the money. Not because, they were racist and we'd only shoot the Asians only deal with Asians. That's racist. The Jewish people get money for only Jewish people. Ain't that racist? Yeah. All the races get money just for them. So it ain't that I.S.U.P.K is racist. It's just that we do the money.
Even Syria and Afghanistan and Iraq gets money from America.
Child.
The enemies who they fought get money from America. And and I'm gonna add on to what you said, and you're right. And the reason why they for sure don't want to give us that money, because they feel that we'll grow in numbers. I got news for them. we're going to grow without their help. Our help coming from the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it comes from. But they know that we'll start to disrupt. Like you imagine General Yahanna get $30 million. He might disrupt the economy in Philly alone.
Right.
He sure as hell will disrupt it. It will. It'll be all turned upside down.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like the way the Muslims are up in Philly, it'll be a city full of Israelites, which will make all Israelites start to flow to Philly.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Hey, yo, I'm gonna end this one on that story, unless anybody got anything else to bring out.
Loud one.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Marah has something to bring out, if I could.
Okay. Good. Go ahead, Marah.
The article. It has also raised $30 million since the George Floyd riots last summer and is using some of this money to run shuttles from a strip club to a voting center to turn out the vote for the municipal election. If I could, so they're using it to run a shuttle bus from the strip club to the voting booth.
Right. They bringing in the patrons of a strip club and the strippers. It's crazy. That's crazy. They retarded. They stupid, man. But that's what you get when you got a group of people that got demons on them. Like they're gonna do things to destroy the community. You know what I mean? They're not even considering to set up something where that they can watch the police.
Right.
Like General Yahanna would set brothers up so that they would protect the neighborhood. He could say, listen, you ain't got to go get a security job. You can work for me, and I'll set you up on the corner with a few brothers, and we'll clean up the neighborhood.
We'll be there all day and night, getting paid.
Yeah, you can have your police force. We'll have our own police force. The police force, which will never happen, which white people are laughing. Like cops are laughing at them. Like they don't man, that's the problem with letting homos and a heathen in charge of your people. Homo or heathen to rule over your people. If you saw the picture, hey, anything else? Just remember to play your ties. Hey, hit that like button. You know what I mean? All right. Hey, the water captain, Yatazal, the young brother Reed, I'm gonna get your name. And Marah, the water. I want to say the water, the Commander General Yahanna, the water, the General Haas the Young, and the generals. And this is Letter Hebrew Speak. All right. Scripture breakdown tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And tonight, Black Watch News with Commander General Yahanna. Hey, I want to say shalom to all the brothers and sisters that have tuned in and that have been tuning in. I want to say shalom. To the sisters. Stay strong.
Shalom.
The water, y'all.
Warrior with the hands, that's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes,
Vengeance in my mouth, they don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy, the end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Pay back in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark, and I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. Now they walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft, better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. Behind me say I cup full. No room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't U.P.K, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to suffer. Flow so deep, they drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm U.P.K, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing, gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she's so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter. The lies are sweet, tried everything. I guess me and Yahanna had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring me bloody band sheets. Chaos match the time, this Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check. 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. She call me 47. Praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame. Ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign. Loyal to the king. I want that straight lane to break the chain.